Hello and welcome to another edition of National Focus. I'm Kimani St. Coming up, healthcare providers trained on how to diagnose and treat people who abuse drugs. Dominica praised for leading the way in asset recovery advocacy, and cabinet members continue to pledge their support for the 2013-2014 national budget. Stay with us for details of these and other stories right after the break.
Hey, I had a good time in town last week with a pretty girl, man.
Hey, carry me next time when you're going now.
When we get paid Friday, we gonna go.
Careful, they might catch AIDS.
AIDS? Them girl pretty. Them girl can't get AIDS, man.
I think it's only ugly women have AIDS. Anybody could get it. If you get sick, what you gonna tell your wife?
Hey, your wife, come in.
Hey, change the topic. Change the topic.
Your family depends on you. Don't take home AIDS.
Scary! Everything just shaking and making big creaky noises.
Earthquakes, big and small, take place in the Caribbean at least 10 times a year.
The dishes rattling and falling and breaking, then Vanna started to scream.
All I could think to do was shout, "Get outside, get out!"
Earthquakes, hazards, take control, reduce your loss. If an earthquake hits, what can you do? Get down. Get under an item of furniture like a table. Hold on and stay there until the quake passes. Find out lots more about earthquakes and other hazards at your local disaster office. A message from your National Disaster Office and Sidera.
The facts as they are, brought to you every day. Only on GIS Channel 7.
Thank you for staying with us. Dominica's House of Parliament on Tuesday evening approved the over $400 million budget presented by Prime Minister and Finance Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit last week Wednesday. Prime Minister Skerrit, in his presentation to the House on Tuesday evening, described the 2013-2014 national budget as a realistic offering to the people of Dominica. The Prime Minister noted that if the budget is properly implemented, it could have a lasting impact on the people of the country. The country's leader, in his concluding remarks to the House, called on ministers of government to ensure that work on policies and projects outlined in the budget materialize at the soonest possible time.
Let us forge ahead. Let's ensure that we can continue putting our hands to the wheel, our shoulders to the wheel, Madam Speaker, to implement the policies and the programs and projects in this budget to the benefit of people. I want to start seeing things happening as early as Monday morning. The projects in the constituencies, we must begin them. The programs that we have articulated there from a national standpoint, we must start. We'll take a couple of break. We'll cabinet tomorrow and we'll relax for the rest couple of days. But Monday morning, Madam Speaker, people must start seeing the benefits of this budget, Madam Speaker. We have some of the resources. Let us get the resources in the hands of the people of Dominica. So, Minister for Constituent Empowerment, we have to get the list going. Housing, get the list going. And Minister for Employment, we have to get the apprenticeship program going, the employment program going, the small business support going. The Minister of Finance shall make the resources available for these things to happen, and must make them happen and happen now. And we must ensure that the medical equipment we spoke about does not take a year and 14 months to come in Dominica. It has to be made available in quick time. If it means we have to pay somebody's ticket or two to go and visit the place that's selling it and pay for it directly there by way of a government draft, Madam Speaker, we have to do it, Madam Speaker. We have to use extraordinary ways. We have to use extraordinary ways to ensure that the programs and policies articulated here meet the people of Dominica and the benefit from it in a timely fashion.
Parliament was adjourned sine die on Tuesday evening. U.S. Ambassador to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Dr. Larry L. Palmer, commended Dominica for leading the way in the Eastern Caribbean. Dominica is the first country to enact a comprehensive civil asset recovery law in the region. These comments came as Dr. Palmer addressed the opening ceremony of a two-day workshop to train Dominica's judicial system to better understand the concept of asset recovery. The state gives the law the authority to confiscate assets which are proceeds of criminal activity. Dominica passed the Proceeds of Crime Amendment Act 2013 on Friday, May 17, 2013.
In doing so, became the first country in the Eastern Caribbean to pass a comprehensive civil asset recovery law. This momentous legislation has evolved in response to the growing threat from the transnational criminal organizations whose wealth, their power, and influence allow them to distance themselves from the criminal activity and make criminal prosecution difficult at best and in some cases impossible. And of course, they mentioned by taking away the enabling factor, the money, it also takes away much of the incentive. So the introduction of this law is a great milestone for Dominica and its partnership with the United States government under the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative.
Dr. Palmer says in order to combat organized crime, every country needs a strategy and the commitment to implement it. He commended Dominica's determination to fight organized crime.
Dominica has sent a very clear message to its citizens and to the international community, and most importantly, to criminals operating in this country, that Dominica will not sit back and allow criminal groups to operate on this beautiful island with impunity. Your strong stance on fighting crime is an inspiration to other jurisdictions in the region and across the wider Caribbean.
Dr. Palmer says the introduction of this law is a significant milestone for Dominica and its partnership with the U.S. government under the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative as the fight against transnational crime organizations continues. The two-day workshop was jointly conducted by the U.S. government, the Chambers of the Attorney General, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Financial Intelligence Unit, and the Judicial Education Institute of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. Minister for the Environment, Natural Resources, Physical Planning and Fisheries, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru, and the Senator for the Soufriere constituency, Honorable Sam Martin, pledged their support for the national budget when Parliament debates continued on Monday. Minister for the Environment, Natural Resources, Physical Planning and Fisheries, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru, and Senator for the Soufriere constituency, Honorable Sam Martin, pledged their support for the national budget when Parliament debates continued on Monday. Honorable Daru rose to first state the usefulness of his ministry, which deals with climate change and environmental sustainability. Honorable Daru is pleased that government saw it necessary to create such a ministry, a move which he says is being implemented by other Caribbean governments. Honorable Daru went on to list the major projects being undertaken by his ministry.
Other works, significant works being undertaken by the ministry would include a national land use policy, and we would see that's the CDB project. We could see some allocation there in this year's budget, I think some in the region of $700,000, which would seek to rationalize the use of all lands here in the Nature Isle. Another World Bank project is being established to form what we call the Dominica Open Source Geospatial Data Management Platform, or GeoNode. This will include all physical and social infrastructure, natural hazards, land use, vegetation, soil, and hydrology. Of course, this GeoNode will work simultaneously with the National Land Use Policy or National Development Plan, and will link the physical planning division, lands and surveys, housing, and the registry, and to disseminate valuable information to existing and prospective property owners on the hazard risk associated with any particular lot of land. So any prospective or potential landowner could go on the website, and with a single click of a button could get all the information associated with any particular lot in Dominica.
Honorable Daru says these moves will mean a greater capacity for informed decision-making by both government and members of the public. Since the 2012-2013 budget, says Honorable Daru, his ministry has been very active.
We're also in the process of modernizing, harmonizing, and strengthening our environmental legislation. And this is an effort, of course, to ensure that the natural resources that we enjoy now will be there for future generations. And this legislation have been advised, or informed rather, will include over 300 pages of environmental legislation, and the first draft should be completed by early next month, and of course to be taken through the necessary phases. Madam Speaker, the government of Dominica also signed on the Vienna Convention for the Protection of the Ozone Layer and the Montreal Protocol. And our effort to date in these areas have been tremendous. We have achieved 0% consumption of ozone-depleting substances. That's by 2010. Customs and other law enforcement officials have been trained on UNEP standards and guidelines in monitoring, evaluation, and recording of refrigerants that are known to be harmful to the ozone layer. In 2009, we have DARAC, the Dominica Association of Refrigeration and Air Conditioning, was established as a legal entity, complete with its constitution and article of association. Equipment worth $60,000 US was donated, was made available to this association to make it work much easier.
The Environment Minister also made note of the recent Quarrying Act to protect Dominica's land resource. The fisheries sector has also been at the top of his ministry's agenda.
Over the years, the fishing industry has received significant assistance from this administration. Millions of dollars, especially after weather events, would have been invested into the industry towards recovery efforts. And Mr. Speaker, we need to understand that no government is obliged to replace anybody's boat, engine, or fishing gear lost or damaged after any storm. But we recognize the importance of the fishery sector to our population, and hence our commitment towards the sustenance of the fishing industry. We recognize the importance to a healthy, high-protein diet and food security. And don't underestimate, Mr. Speaker, the impact of fuel purchased by the fisher folk on a daily basis and the impact on the turnover of fuel from the suppliers.
With that, Minister Daru committed his support to the 2013-2014 budget, pledging that the quest for green economy will continue. Speaking on behalf of the Soufriere constituency was Senator Honorable Sam Martin. The parliamentary representative named the myriad of ways in which his constituency has developed over the past financial year. Honorable Martin reminded his constituents of the tremendous educational benefits made available through the Roosevelt Skerrit government.
The Soufriere constituency continues to benefit from the Ministry of Education in all aspects. Whereas things may be hard or the resources are scarce, we still continue to receive the free textbooks, the uniforms, the free school transportation, and it must be said that these assistance are being given from preschool to tertiary, not just secondary or primary school, from preschool to tertiary. And I mean, that's a record thing happening in Dominica, because you know before, when you had to pay, you have 3 children going to school at $80 per child. Do the math for me, Mr. Speaker. So, I must say that in Soufriere Primary School, that I personally took it on me last year to ensure that we had a nice facelift of the primary school, where it was fully painted, and then that, I must say, together with the help of the principal and staff, we had a good job done, and this year will be no different.
Honorable Martin then moved on to the area of housing for his constituents.
When we talk about the area of housing, as we speak now, we have maybe about 15 persons who received assistance, and housing repairs is ongoing. And I can assure the people of the Soufriere constituency that we will certainly be getting a significant amount again very soon to continue the housing revolution in that constituency. And I must tell my people from Galion that during the bad weather, I know a few roofs gone. I mean, the wind was really hard up there. I was there by myself. So let me just assure them that they will be receiving assistance at the soonest possible time. And the housing ministry, I must say, has been very helpful to us, and will certainly be getting some more funds.
According to Honorable Sam Martin, his constituency is seeing progress in the water resource sector.
I can boast of saying that we have the most reliable water supply in Dominica. Yeah, because when it's rain, I mean, all over the place you have turbidity there, places have to shut down and water not there, but rain for a whole month, our water never got off here. And make it even better now, that even before you find, well, because of the rough seas, you find your pipes will be broken when you go into Scotland. No, well, thank God for Skerrit, Venezuela, and the Dominican Party. We have beautiful road now, no pipe is breaking, and everything is fine for us now. So I just want to say that as I speak now, Dowasco is busy working, putting pipes for the extension of the Savannah water project. Because while we have the best water supply, we have to understand the rate of expansion. You know, so there'll be a need to upgrade the water supply. So the people of Savannah in Scotland said, likewise Point Michel, the land has already been identified and purchased for the expansion of the water supply in Point Michel. So people of Savannah in Scotland said, and Point Michel, maybe more like United States, I can assure you, your plight has been answered here.
In other news, healthcare professionals and workers at the primary healthcare and hospital services in Dominica have been increasing their knowledge on how to diagnose and treat people who abuse drugs and use illicit substances. This is being done through a series of workshops organized by the Mental Health Team, the National Drug Abuse Prevention Unit, and the Health Promotion Resource Center. On Wednesday, the 5th of 6 workshops took place at the Acute Psychiatric Unit of the Princess Margaret Hospital. Director of the National Drug Abuse Prevention Unit, Jacinta Barnes, said the workshops have been able to cover a number of issues pertaining to mental health and substance abuse.
The following topics were carefully selected. We looked at the situational analysis in health, and when you look at the data on what is happening in our schools, what is happening in our community, it can be very alarming. We also had survey reports on substance abuse in schools, and we know that our students, from the survey that we have done at the Drug Prevention Unit, as early as age 12, our children begin experimenting with drugs. So this is a topic that we think is really relevant to our stakeholders. We look at the psychology of adolescents in substance use and abuse, the impact of abuse of substance on adolescents, and also the effects of alcohol and other drugs.
Barnes, in her presentation, noted that substance abuse among adolescents is a national issue and should get the attention of all stakeholders.
The task of providing awareness and advocacy should not be the responsibility of the mental health. It's not Dr. Benjamin's problem. It's not my problem at Drug Prevention Unit. All of us to have a responsibility in helping these young people. We as healthcare professionals must rethink our role and continuously help to build a productive society by putting mental health and substance abuse as a priority area in our work plan.
Dominica's Health Minister, Honorable Julius Timothy, has fully endorsed the series of workshops. He noted that in order to adequately deal with the problem of substance abuse, the general public and government must work together in efforts to control and eliminate the factors which cause drug abuse.
This training workshop is obviously necessary for the Ministry of Health as we seek to upgrade and provide continuous information for all our staff. At the end of this workshop, over 120 healthcare workers around the island would have received cutting-edge training on mental health and substance abuse. The facilitators have further ensured that all levels of healthcare workers are involved in the training, to include the ward aides and orderlies.
The final workshop on mental health and substance abuse, funded by the Pan American Health Organization, has been planned for Casa Bruce on August 8, 2013. And 4 individuals and 1 family were the recipients of the renowned Golden Drum Awards on Tuesday evening at the Arawak House of Culture as part of the Golden Drum Awards ceremony and concert this year. The observance is held annually to pay tribute to cultural icons who have dedicated at least 25 years of service to the development of culture in Dominica. Among the awardees this year were Iliu Alexander, recognized for his contribution to the preservation of traditional culture. Ian Jackson was acknowledged for his involvement in music and creative writing. Prosper Paris was given an award for his role in the preservation of the indigenous culture. Purcell Christian, renowned music teacher, was saluted for the part he played in music education and performance, and the Alfred family of Girardel was awarded for its contribution to floriculture and floral decoration. Honorable Justina Charles, Minister for Culture, addressed the function. The minister commended the recipients for their tremendous contributions and assured them that the ceremony is proof that their work has not gone unnoticed.
Let me say this evening again, like we do annually, we gather once more to honor our cultural stalwarts. Through the Golden Drum and Special Recognitions Awards, we pay tribute to deserving individuals, groups, and institutions for the significant contribution they have made to the development, promotion, and preservation of the arts and culture. Let me therefore congratulate all of you receiving awards this evening. Your effort and contribution in culture over many years have not gone unnoticed. As a nation, we salute you.
Honorable Charles urged others to emulate the dedication of these individuals. Special recognition awards were presented to Denison King Dice Joseph, Lennox Alexander, Nadia Lando, Birdie Phillip, and Cedric Phillip for their contribution to arts and culture. Raymond Lawrence, Chief Cultural Officer, also commended these individuals. He recognizes the necessity of showing appreciation to those who work hard to promote and preserve culture. As he says, it is an integral part of Dominican life.
This ceremony this evening is a very important occasion because it recognizes achievement in the field of cultural development in Dominica. Our cultural development influences every aspect of life in Dominica, and there are many persons and groups who, through the years, have given of their time and talent towards the enhancement, preservation, and promotion of our culture, and these persons and groups need to be recognized and appreciated.
The Chief Cultural Officer said that the Division of Culture and the National Cultural Council strongly believe in providing opportunities for the growth of art and culture. According to him, this has led to the creation of the Dominica Institute for the Arts, the hosting of several training workshops, Dumfesta, and other events during the Independence and Carnival seasons. It is only fitting then that participants who take advantage of these opportunities be recognized. The Golden Drum Awards ceremony was a part of Emancipation celebrations this year, marking the 175th anniversary of the abolition of slavery. Raymond Lawrence sees the synchronization of these events as appropriate, as he believes history has had a great impact on culture.
Our ancestors have left us a rich legacy, and we're grateful to them for the positive contribution which they have made toward the general development of our country. When you see and hear the ballet in Dominica and the drumming groups, when you listen to the Lapo Cab with rhythms and see the sensei costumes and the bois bois, you realize that there are many traditions which were handed down to us by our African and Kalinago ancestors, which are still alive today and thriving. It's important that we understand our roots and our history, especially as it relates to the influence which our ancestors had on the shaping of our culture. The Emancipation celebration should make us more conscious of the fact that we must, with God's help, take responsibility for the shaping of our own destiny. We must dream our dreams and find ways of making them become reality.
The awards ceremony and concerts also showcased presentations from the Warner Jingping Band, Carifuna Cultural Group, Flamboyant Dancers, River Song, Paybush Drummers, the Whitey Kubuli Dance Theatre Company, and reigning Calypso monarch King Dice. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join Mc Pherson St. Luce for Creole Highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est Mc Pherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Parlement Dominique a approuvé le budget 2013-2014 qui pour le ministère Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt présenté un valeur plus de 400 millions de dollars. Selon le Premier ministre Skerritt, le budget salaire qui présenté c'est un qui bien bon pour la population en Dominique. Honorable Skerritt dit, si le budget salaire est implémenté, sans même qu'à bénéficier Dominicains en l'eau. Premier ministre là en parole il termine la présentation budget là qui a ce ministère gouvernement pour faire assurer qui travaille à ces policiers et puis projets qui en budget là implémenté bien vite. Parlement fermé à mardi au soir Saint-Denis. En autre nouvelle, le gouvernement Dominique a dépensé à dans l'argent loan CARICOM Development Fund pour un instrument basse avion Melville Hall. Parole celle-là sortie au ministre Telecoms Honorable Ambrose George.
Pour vendre airport là Melville Hall avec instrument pour avion qui a venu avec quitter Dominique. So on morceau l'argent ça qui aussi aller pour joindre procurement pour instrument pour Melville Hall Airport.
Honorable George fait parole que le gouvernement qui dépense l'argent loan salam à de manière soutenable.
Nous n'y à ce record que le gouvernement Dominique a managé l'argent ça à de manière avec toute gouvernance. Nous ça mettons dans avec tout record qui démontre que même si c'est Caribbean Development Fund ou Caribbean Development Bank ou EU ou n'importe ces institutions nous taper l'argent nous ça en compter pour tout l'argent nous recevons en manière qui bon en manière qui est bon gouvernance.
En la nouvelle, le ministre de la Santé Dominique tapé assistance à Paro pour tenir un workshop qui mettait attention à ces gens qui ont des problèmes de drogue et puis problèmes sans que mental health and substance abuse. Plusieurs officiers de santé attendaient workshop où là ils tapé comment pour traiter les gens qui ont souffert en Infosalam, chef département de drogue Dominique Jacinta Banis, va un overview workshop ça.
Workshop ça nous quand aider moun qui travaillent en santé, comment ils pour occuper moun qui ni problème drugs et puis problème santé même mental health. So nous avons fait tout le monde docteur, orderly, warded, FNP, tout le monde en team là ça y pour faire. So information nous avons bayo c'est pour aider yo pour les jeunes monde venir en clinique, en health center pour yo ça ni on parler puis si nous pas parler puis bonnet nous parce que aussi et puis problème drugs ça Dominique. So you can faire so a brief intervention et puis yo si on est pour voyo psychiatric unit voyo pour counseling you can faire ça en village là et puis information qui présenter car montrer nous un problème et puis moun qui a point drugs
et puis finalement ambassadeur l'Amérique pour Caraïbes Larry Palmer qui a complimenté Dominique pour point de vente qui a concerné bagaille crime et puis drogue. Dominique c'est le premier pays qui passe loi où la moun qui engagé en activité de drogue et puis crime ça tape bagaille saisi audio si vous passez à un compte comment vous tapez ces bagailles ça la légal. Palmer fait parole ça là pendant été adressé un workshop 2 jours où la officier système judiciaire tapé un meilleur couponnement loi ça là et aussi fait parole qui si drogue et puis crime ni pour combattre tout le pays supposé passer loi ça là. Parlement dit que loi salam qui Dominique passé autant significant relation et puis l'Amérique. Workshop salat organisé par le gouvernement l'Amérique, l'Office Attorney General, Director Public Prosecution, Financial Intelligence Unit et puis grand office l'audience à Caraïbes. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle créole pour à présent. Non moins, c'est Mc Pherson St. Luce. Au revoir.
Up next, a tip on building self-confidence.
Look.
Wow.
Don't buy condoms at the age.
You need condoms. And look at the girl. She's so young. None of her parents knows about this.
Who's this?
This big woman.
I like them big too.
What?
What? This is going on today. Everybody buying condoms.
Caribbean women are protecting themselves. Join them now.
Self-confidence is the difference between feeling unstoppable and feeling scared out of your wits. Your perception of yourself has an enormous impact on how others perceive you. When we think negatively about ourselves, we often project that feeling onto others in the form of insults and gossip. To break this cycle of negativity, get in the habit of praising other people. Refuse to engage in backstabbing, gossip, and make an effort to compliment those around you. In the process, you'll become well-liked and build self-confidence. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on the past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Kimani St. Thank you for watching.